Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the SU-8. It's the Tier 6 Soviet SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Ghost Town, and it's under the command of StuInTokyo. Now, he's been away for a while. He had to go back to Canada because his mother died, and our sympathies, because a lot of us are suffering from deaths in the family just recently. But he's back in the game. As you can see, he's playing in the SU-8, the Tier 6 Soviet SPG with a 152mm main gun. It's capable of 550 alpha, 38mm pen, 6.7 meters on the burst radius, between 6.5 and 11 seconds of stun. It's actually one of the faster Artys that reloads at Tier 6, other than the FP304, the Burt. He's aiming towards the bushes on the east side of the map because there's nearly always some light tank who will try to get down these bushes, get spots on our team. Nobody spotted so far. It's a Tier 6 game with Tier 5 tanks in it. And an enemy tank has been spotted. It's VK3601H. And he's on that main road. Rounds out. Well, it landed to the left of the VK. We didn't really see the trajectory as much because the buildings concealed it. But he's almost reloaded. Rounds out again. Direct hit this time, 225 hit points. Now, the standard reload for this Arty is 19.65 seconds, but we can see here that StuInTokyo has actually got 16.62. So he's actually quite fast. Rounds out. Couldn't actually see him because he ducked into cover, but we fired a round in there. I think we probably would have splashed him. He's now changing position to avoid counter battery. Always a wise choice to do that. This Arty is very quick on the reload, but you can just change position just slightly to fool the enemy. Now, he was last seen just in that corner. You can see the impact point from the last shell. It's that brown stain. And yes, there's a tank there, but it's not the same one as before. It's an 88 this time. And he got a direct hit on him for that one. 174. This tank, this SPG, I should say, actually racks up the damage slowly but surely. You can see the impact point of the shells on the front of the casement. He's loaded again. Rounds out. And that actually landed directly in front of the vehicle, but it was close enough to do more damage than the previous one that actually did hit the armor. And that's probably because the one that hit the armor actually hit hard armor, very thick armor. He's fired another one into the same spot and didn't get any result from that, or at least it didn't seem to. Changing position again. This tank, this SPG made from the T-28 never came into being because there wasn't any T-28s left. A lot of them were used up in the early stages of the war. The Russians suffered a huge number of tank losses. You could say very similar to modern day Soviet tanks or modern day Russians. Massive losses, mainly down to the fact that the tanks were very poor design. The T-28s were very thin armor, and they just couldn't cope with the Germans. The standardized German tanks, mostly the Panzer III and the Panzer IV, were able to actually survive against the T-28. Of course, the Germans at that time were using a lot of tanks from other nations, such as the Czech tanks that they managed to capture, or at least that they manufactured themselves after they captured Czechoslovakia. We're firing a long way down, and there's... Oh, this is new. We've got a M10 RBFM, as opposed to the no, it wasn't a Wolverine. It was a Hellcat, wasn't it? And there goes the M10. Killed with that one, and that's his 5th kill, so he actually ended up... Well, 5th module that damaged, so he got a bruiser out of that one as well. Yes, we are using the module disclosure, the awards disclosure. It actually tells you which awards you've actually got during the battle. Okay, from this position, he can now hit that VK3601H. And rounds out. Oh, 2 direct hits. Both Artys managed to hit that VK, and he's now a one-shot. Look at that. The next Arty that hits him, he's going to go down. That is pretty surprising. Both direct hits. Okay, fire it in, because I think splash will be enough. Rounds out. It wasn't, surprisingly, but the Strip 74 managed to get him instead. Okay, there is an enemy tank over on the other side of the battlefield. It's a Skoda T25, and our Zelly Micah's taken up residence next door, and we're about to evict the interloper. That's a direct hit for 173. He's not going to want to stay there for too long if he keeps getting hit. And our teammates are now starting to get enough angle to actually shoot at him from a distance away. He's actually moved forward, which makes him an easy hit. Rounds out. 2 hits came in. The gorilla was the one who actually got the kill shot. So our shell arrived a fraction of a second too late, but it was on target. Both shells were. M10 RBFM, who's taken a low position nearer to the town rather than up near the Hellcat. Assuming he stays in the same spot, and a lot of tanks do. Oh, he got him! That's the second kill for StuInTokyo. And yes, a lot of tank players will sit in the same spot for ages, even after they've been spotted, and they should just move, just change position just slightly to avoid RT fire. But if they stay in the same spot, then it's worth sending in another shell just to see if they're still there. And the M10 Wolverine, the same as the M10 RBFM, has very thin armor, which meant that that shell probably penetrated him and wiped him out that way. Okay, M4A1 making a quick dash into the city, but he's not the only one. Got a Panzerwehr. Is that the... Oh, it's the Panzerwehr Aslains H. Now, that's the guy who could have the 105mm gun, and probably does, because most players who get the Panzer IV will actually fit the H version, the 105mm. Out here, we've got a Hellcat fighting it out with an M4, and both go down. The M4 took out the Hellcat, and the Hellcat took out the M4A1s, but I'm not sure if it was they killed each other. No, it wasn't. There was somebody else intervened. And now we've got this SU-100 making a quick dash in. And before we can shoot, he gets taken out by the Wizzy 131 GFT. Things are starting to go our way because we're 5 tanks up on the enemy at this point. If it carries on like this, Stu is going to get an easy win. 2 tanks already over 1,200, but only a tiny amount of stun. So he isn't getting much assist, which probably means he won't get a high mastery. But he really needs to increase that total. There's only 5 enemies, and they're pushing at this moment to try and get to our cap, which is a bit illogical, really, considering they are running short on hit points. They've only got a third the number of hit points ours have. And in fact, now, let's have a look. Well, we can't see them from this angle, but they are a lot closer. There you are. There's the M4A1. He's styling in. He's ready. 2 tanks together. Rounds up. Gets a direct hit. And the ARMT does go down. And we got stun assist off that guy. And the M4A1's still alive, but not for long. The VK3001H tried to get away. He died. We fired another one into splash, and the M4A1 did take a stun, but he's backing away while still under fire. Well, he's backing away. He's not under fire, actually. But we know where he is. Just around the corner. T-3485 should get an easy kill. I say that. He's got an 85mm gun. He should kill that M4A1 with 1 shot. But the enemy Arty is trying to make it difficult. He has got the kill. But I think we saw that the enemy Arty is actually over on this side of the map. Just in this corner. Yes, because he's already being marked by one of our teammates. The Nashorn, I think, is the one saying there's an Arty up there. And there's one right up in the nest, right at the top. There's 2 Artys on the enemy team, and one of them has just been killed. The M44 was just lost in battle, which means he probably crashed off the hill. And oh my god, the Fifi goes down, and that was the last kill of the game, and it's Stu's. Here's the end of battle stats, and with the last few shots, Stu actually managed to increase his totals enough to get a first-class tanker out of that game. He also managed to get a bruise in the middle for getting at least 5 critical hits in that game. He got 12, and he also got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in that game overall. And his win rate was 4,818, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, 2,312 hit points of damage was the high score in that game. Second highest was, in fact, the Juno on our team with 1,620. And the third highest damage, well, that goes to the OI on the enemy team with 1,348. When it came to kills, we can see that Stu actually got that as well, but he shares it with a Wizzy 131 GFT. Both got 3 kills apiece. 2 kills apiece went to the VK3018, who also picked up a Leather Slaves medal, and also to the SU-100 on the enemy team. And everyone else, I've got 1 kill or nothing. And when it came to base XP, Stu's got that one as well. 887 to him, so he's got the top in all 3 columns. 748 went to the Strib 74 in his team, and 741 went to the Juno. He fired 16 rounds, got 8 direct hits on the enemy and 3 penetrations, 11 splash. Damage of 2,312, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 80 the enemy, killed 3 of them, and did 394 hit points of stun assist off 9 stuns. On a premium count, he actually made 30,453 credits from the game. He also took away 5,988 experience points, including getting a mission completion bonus of 2,662 experience points as well. So, very good game for Stu. He hasn't lost any of his skills at all, and he's back in harness in Canada. Is it? No, he's not in Canada. He's in Tokyo. He is Canadian, but he was in Tokyo, and I think he lives in Tokyo, which must be very expensive because it's one of the most expensive cities to live in the world, with the most expensive housing as well. Incredibly expensive. So I wonder how he copes. But I think we all cope in one way or another. So well done, Stu. A nice little first class and high caliber. Hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. And thank you for watching.